Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Antonio. Today I'm going to show you yet another food item that you guys can make. Today we're making a type of pasta. Now it's not a lasagna, it's not an Alfredo. This type of pasta I found with my girlfriend back around May, and I've tweaked the recipe a little bit, and now it's kind of my own. I make this pasta every 2-3 weeks. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. Everybody who eats it loves it. And there's enough food to feed about 10 people, and pretty well too. So let's just get started with the ingredients. Alright, so ingredients wise, it's really not that much, or it's not really nothing too crazy that you wouldn't already have at home. First, you'll need half an onion, some oil, some minced garlic. You'll need 4 seasonings. In specifics, you'll need paprika, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, which I think is amazing because it has a little bit of everything. You can't go wrong with it. And Cajun seasoning. Next, you'll need your meat. I did about 2 pounds of meat, which is fantastic for this recipe because remember, we're going to feed about 8 to 10 people. You'll need 2 jars of marinara. You'll need 2 chicken broth. And you'll need, this is the special, most important ingredient, you'll need 1 heavy whipping cream. You definitely need this. If you're going to forget one thing, just don't let it be this, because this is the most special thing. And it's going to tie everything together at the end. Alright, so let's just get started. First things first, we're going to dice up this onion because we don't need it full, so let's just go ahead and dice it up. Okay, so we have diced our onions, and this is pretty much the whole start of everything. First, we're gonna start with the heat. You want to do it at about a 4 or a 5 mid, and you're just gonna pour the diced onion. The onions are in the pot, so just take a little bit of your oil and just surround it. There we go. And then you're going to take your spoon, just going to move it around. It's a low heat, it's a slow burn, and so you're just going to move it around, and you're going to want to wait until it starts to get golden a little bit and caramelize. Now you're also going to add some minced garlic and a little spoon, just 1 spoonful, because as we all know, garlic is very potent and strong. So just about 1. And then you're going to take your spoon and you're going to mix it all together. Let the flavors combine. Next are your seasonings. Now you're just going to take a normal spoon and just fill it up. Just like that. There we go. Take some paprika. Paprika I think is the best, so I go pretty heavy with it. Just like that. Then your Cajun seasoning. Like that. And lastly, your Italian seasoning, which has about a little bit of everything. So I think it's the best seasoning to add. Alright, as you can see, the onions are golden, they've been caramelized. So now it's time to add the meat. So we're just going to take our meat. I did 2 pounds. Just going to open it up. There we go. And we're just going to add the meat by sections. That way it's easier for it to cook faster as well. And that way the people that you're going to feed don't just get clumps of meat all together. So we have the meat added. Just move it around with the onions. All good. And now it's time for the liquids. So you're going to take your chicken broths, both of them. You're just going to open it up. And now listen to me. You're going to add 90% of the chicken broth. Okay, just 90%, not all 100. You're going to leave just a little bit, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So that's about 90% of this one. And there we go, there we go. And that's about 90% of this one. The chicken broth is all in there. So now you're gonna add your 2 marinara sauces. I did the flavored with meat Prego kind. So just let it all in there. There we go, that's 1. And that's 2. Now, the reason why we only did 90% of the chicken broth and not 100 is because there's still marinara sauce in the jar. So you're gonna take one of these, pour it into the jar. You're gonna close the lid. There we go. Just give it a good round shake and pour the rest into the pot and just do the same with the other one. Just to recap, we have our diced onions, the minced garlic, all of our seasoning, the 2 pounds of meat, the 2 marinaras, and the 2 chicken broth. Now, the most important ingredient, it's the heavy whipping cream. This is what's gonna make it taste amazing. This is what's gonna add the texture. It's gonna make it thick, okay? So just pour it, just go in circles, just like that. Do about 2 laps around the pot. Give it a little stir, give it a little stir. As you can see, it's gonna start to change a little bit of colors. It's gonna become lighter. Obviously, heavy whipping cream is white. So just give it another stir, give it another stir. This isn't marinara, this isn't chicken broth. This has to be done slowly and in portions. So for the last time, just let it all out. There we go. And you only need 1 of these. 2 would be too much. Trust me, I love this, but 2 would be overkill. So just go with 1, and I'll give it a big stir. Now we just played the waiting game, guys, okay? We have the heat at a little bit over 5, at about a 6 or a 7. And now we just let all this liquid and the meat cook. Now the next step, you'll know that you're there once it starts boiling. So let's wait for it to boil. Okay, hey guys, this is me, Antonio, from the future. We had some technical difficulties with some of the files, and they got corrupted and lost the audio. But don't worry, because I'll be here on the editing floor, and I'm going to tell you guys what to do. So here, the pasta has, or not the pasta, but the meat and everything has already been cooked and boiled, and now we're going to add the pasta. As I mentioned before, I got the bow ties. Those are the ones that taste the best, to me personally at least, and fit best with this recipe. So we got 2 boxes, and we're just going to open them up, and we're going to just pour them into kind of, I want to call it a soup, but it's not a soup, because at the end everything will, get less liquidy with the pasta, of course. So here I'm just adding 1 box. Just go ahead, you don't have to do it slowly, just add the pasta there. Okay, and I'm just explaining how the liquid's going to get all sucked up by the pasta. So there we go, we add the second box. And there we go. The meat, guys, it's already cooked, so don't worry about it being raw. You're gonna wait a couple of minutes for the meat to be cooked. Practically, what I like to do is until the liquid, the marinara, and the heavy whipping cream and everything is starting to boil, that's when I start to add the pasta, because that's how I know that the meat is already cooked. So based on what pasta you got, just look at the box and just read whatever time it has. I think on this specific box, it told me 15 minutes. So just put about a 15-minute timer and let it cook. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes or so. And what you want to do is every 2 minutes, you just want to give it a good stir around, because you don't want the pasta or the meat to get burnt or stuck in the bottom of the pot. So just give it a good stir around every 2 or 3 minutes while the pasta is cooking. And that's what you got to do. Okay, so it's been about the 15 minutes, and something that I personally like to do is after those 15 minutes is I like to turn off the heat from the stove and just let it all cook with the heat that it has. And I like to take a spoon, just a normal spoon, and taste the meat and taste the pasta all together with the sauces. It's a clean spoon, and I'm not double dipping, so my germs aren't going in. But yeah, and pretty much once this is over and once you feel comfortable with it, you can start serving. Guys, there we have it. We have the pasta. I added some shredded Parmesan, some pepper flakes. It smells amazing. And with the quantity that we made, guys, you can feed 8 to 10 people. So if you're having a party or it's some type of holiday and you want to make pasta, I highly recommend this. It's amazing. It's relatively quickly. It only took me about an hour, and most of that was just waiting for it to boil or waiting for the pasta to be ready. So just take a bite. That is amazing, guys. I hope you guys make it, and I'll see you in the next video.